Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's City Council meeting. Thanks so much for making the effort to be here. We appreciate it. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd. First of all, we'd like to start by introducing you to your City Council.
All right, Council members Aguilar. Here. Anderson.
Here.
Entenmann.
Here.
Erpenbach. Here. Jamison.
Here.
Karski.
Present.
Rolfing.
Here.
Staggers.
Very good. As we do with every City Council meeting, we start with an invocation, a prayer. And Dr. Eric McCandless of Empire Baptist Temple is back to serve us in this way, and we're certainly blessed by that. Thank you, Doctor. What we'd ask you to do is to stand. We'll receive the blessing, and then if you'd remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. McCandless, again, welcome.
Thank you. Let's pray. Our Father, we thank you for the solemn responsibility of making decisions and planning and organizing things that perhaps we get to enjoy some of the benefits of, but certainly future generations get to enjoy the opportunity that we may lay out for them, even in meetings like tonight. So, Lord, we ask for wisdom, we ask for your guidance and your blessing on the decisions made, that we might be able to see past just our history and see into the future and make this a great city for years and years to come. We thank you for these men and women that give their time to serve and to give so honorably to this cause, and we ask that you'd bless them and their families in a very mighty way. We ask these things tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll continue our meeting with our consent agenda. Council, any changes to our consent agenda?
Move to approve, Entenmann.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Entenmann's made a motion to approve our consent agenda. It was seconded by Councilor Karski. If there is no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Aguilar. Yes. Anderson.
Yes.
That has passed 7-0. We'll now move on to our regular agenda. Council, any changes to tonight's agenda?
Move to approve, Entenmann.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Entenmann's made a motion to approve our agenda tonight, and it was seconded by Councilor Anderson, Jr. If there is no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Aguilar. Yes. Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed 7-0. Again, welcome to tonight's meeting. We appreciate it. You do have an opportunity to engage the council, and this is that opportunity. Just come on forward, introduce yourself to the people of our town, and we'd ask you just to limit your comments to 5 minutes or less on any topic. Would anybody be welcome? Nice to have you here, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Sandy Dean. I live at Hartford, South Dakota. I am a recent appointee to the Minnehaha County Historical Society and a 6-year member of the Museum Board. I am here tonight to speak to the Siouxland Heritage Museum's collection storage needs, especially as relates to the Mayor's remarks today. I appeal to the Council to follow the recommendations of the Joint Committee as submitted to the Joint Council, City and County. The center needs to be built at 54th and Westport location of the Bob and Kari Hall's land donation. This was a generous gift to the Siouxland Heritage Museums. It is a gift to the community, both city and county, through the museum, and it is not something that can be or should be regifted at anyone's convenience. I would remind the Council that a lease situation of cold storage to relieve the Old Courthouse Museum of its structural strains was not the physical or financial solution that serves the taxpayer or the OCM collection. It also was not recommended by the Joint Committee. I respectfully request that the City Council work with the Minnehaha County Commission in a joint effort to get the new collection center building built in 2014 at the 54th and Westport location because it is the right thing to do. For the sake of our history, for our future, for the city, the county, and the state, it is the only course that honors the joint agreement that was established in 1979 for the establishment of the Siouxland Heritage Museums. I recognize that you're used to seeing Bill Hoskins doing his plea to the county and the city, but I will remind you that Bill does not have final say. It is the museum board that decides these things. And it was the museum board, the museum itself, that this gift was given to. And I realize that we stand at the mercy of the city and county, but I also know that it's the right thing to do. It's the fiscally responsible thing to do. It is the financially sensible thing to do. And if you do the math, and if you read the answers to all those due diligence questions presented by the mayor, you will see and understand that this is the thing to do. And I thank you for your time.
Very good job. Thank you so much, Sandy. Is there anybody else who wanted to engage the council? Welcome.
Tim Stanga. Came in at the end of the 4 o'clock meeting. I missed most of it. But I guess when I'm looking at the budget and we budget in an indoor swimming pool, I always thought that that was up to the voters that was going to vote on an indoor swimming pool, and we're going to replace an outdoor swimming pool. I guess that's a question of mine that I'd like to have somebody maybe later on answer it. I don't know, I talk to a lot of people in this town every week. And when the mayor comes out and says that people are thriving and they're saying so good about Sioux Falls and everything, I talk to people that are losing their houses. I talk to people that are working week to week just trying to make it. Talk to people that have 2, 3 jobs and they're just struggling to make it. Taxes are not getting any cheaper in Sioux Falls. Bills are going up. Food's going up. Thank God gas is coming down. But I don't know. I talk to people all around this town, and I just don't understand where we're coming from. Because there's a lot of people in this town that are struggling. And I'm hoping that if it comes down to this indoor swimming pool, I'm hoping that we get the truth. I'm hoping that it isn't passed through like the event center, where we only get one side. There's 2 sides to an issue. We all know that it's going to lose money, it's not going to make money, especially if it's tied by itself. So I'm hoping that the city council will bring this out, will bring the truth out, so people realize what it's going to cost them, not only from day-to-day operations, not only from month operations, but year-to-year operations. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Is there anybody else who wanted to speak to the council? Well, Sandy and Tim, thanks so much for your comments. We appreciate it. We'll now move on to item number 14.
Deferred action from the City Council meetings of June 4 and June 18, 2013. Transfer of a 2013 package liquor license from Lambo's Inc., Lambo's, to Everett Gas and Convenience LLC, Everett Gas and Convenience LLC, to be operated at 3501 West 49th Street, CUP not required.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
It is a recommendation that this item be pulled from the agenda. And before we continue, I'd like to move that we remove this from the agenda.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Entenmann has made a motion to withdraw agenda item 14. It was seconded by Councilor Karski. Is there any discussion? Very good. A roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach? Yes. Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar? Yes. Anderson?
Yes. Thank you very much. That is passed 7-0. Item 15.
Renewal of a 2013-14 package malt beverage license for OFS Benson Road LLC, Pump and Pack, to be operated at 3700 Potsdam Avenue, Suite 100. New 2013-14 retail malt beverage license for Commonwealth Gaming and Holdings, Deuces 5, to be operated at 4205 South Racket Drive, including video lottery terminals, with a conditional use permit being approved on June 5, 2013. New 2013 retail wine license for Commonwealth Gaming and Holdings, Deuces 5, to be operated at 4205 South Racket Drive, including video lottery terminals, with a conditional use permit being approved on June 5, 2013. New 2013-14 retail malt beverage license for Crystal Investment Corporation, Black Diamond Casino 2, to be operated at 5113 West 41st Street, including video lottery terminals, with a conditional use permit being approved on June 5, 2013. New 2013 retail wine license for Crystal Investment Corporation, Black Diamond Casino 2, to be operated at 5113 West 41st Street, including video lottery terminals, with a conditional use permit being approved on June 5, 2013. New 2013-14 retail malt beverage license for Mirko Management, Falls Overlook Cafe, to be operated at 825 North Weber Avenue. And new 2013 retail wine license for Mirko Management, Falls Overlook Cafe, to be operated at 825 North Weber Avenue.
Good evening, Jamie Palmer with licensing. Item 15 is a business that had an underage failure on 6/26 of 2012, which is within this current renewal period. They were unable to meet the deadline to have their item considered the last meeting with the other items. So Mr. Paul Foley is here to speak to that item if you'd like him to come forward.
Thank you. Welcome, Paul.
Hello. Paul Foley, 6512 East 45th Street, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Thank you for giving me the time to speak with you real quick. Little history, we have, I work for Orion Food Systems. We leased the building from Harms Oil. Did that starting November 2011. In that time frame, we did pass one for one of our first ones. We did fail the one on June. We have also passed on 12/12 and 6/13 of this year. So just last June, we passed another one, which is always a good thing. So I guess if you have any questions, I did submit, you probably haven't, I submitted what we are doing going forward to be a little bit more diligent so that doesn't happen again. Revamped the employee handbook, done a couple other little things.
Paul, can you just let the council know and the city of Sioux Falls know, when somebody does something that works for you, what ultimately happens to them?
Well, first of all, our thing is if they do not pass the sting operation, they are terminated immediately. We used to try to do, at the beginning when we first started, they were going to have to pay the fine as well. It's a tough one to do. When you're letting somebody go, they don't have the money to pay it. So basically, they understand that they're going to lose right off the bat. They know it's a priority for them to card anyone that's looks under 35, 30, whatever we do. We also have our POS system that they can swipe, so they don't just have to think about it. Just swipe it, and it'll let you know if it's valid or not. So
thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Well, council, any comments for Mr. Foley?
No.
Very good.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
If you might, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Please.
Excuse me. We do ask all of the people that have failed a sting, we do ask them to come up here because we really do believe that it's the responsibilities of course, it's the responsibility of the attendant too that's working. We do understand that. But it's very important that we and the rest of the city understands what kind of procedures that you put in place from a security standpoint and what happens to that employee. So thank you very much.
Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Well, council, I'll leave it in your hands. Would anybody want to make a motion?
Move approval of 15 through 21.
Second, and then a question.
Councilor Rolfing has made a motion to approve these items, and it was seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. Did you have a question, Councilor?
I did have a question. I didn't know if Jamie had other comments to add to those
I don't. The other items, I'll just quickly, 16 and 17 are two separate licenses for a new casino, as well as 18 and 19 are just a new casino, and 20 and 21 are the licenses that will be at Falls Overlook Cafe. So that's really all the comments I had.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar? Yes. Anderson?
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 22.
Second reading an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at I-229 and East Benson Road from the AG Agricultural District to the I-1 Light Industrial District, petition number 2013-0406, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Good evening. I'm Mike Cooper, representing Planning and Building Services on a number of items tonight. This is a petition that has been submitted by Tom Sweetman, representing Sweetman Partners, LLP. The property is located on the south side of East Benson Road and east of Interstate 229. This particular rezoning request consists of approximately 17 acres. The proposal is to begin development of this vacant property that has been mined with sand and gravel operation over the years into an industrial park site. We've been working with the owner petitioner on this first phase, which would allow the initial construction of a light manufacturing building. We're also working with the applicant and his consulting engineer with city engineering on looking at more of a long-term plan for sanitary sewer service into this entire development area. We also have a preliminary plan that we're working on, schematic plan of showing future road networks that would extend through this area. One of the questions that was brought up at first reading, if we can go back to there's an existing gravel road out there that some of you old timers might know as Hall Road, and that will be the main collector street that will extend through this development, and that will extend up to Benson Road, and then that will be the main intersection with the extension of Bonson Avenue that the next exhibit shows plan to go from Benson Road all the way north to 60th Street. So that will be the major collector street that will serve the Sweetman land as well as the land to the north, which is currently owned by Sioux Falls Development Foundation. So this is the beginning phase of looking at zoning for light industrial, along with the future utility and street improvements that would be constructed as part of this future development area.
Thanks, Mike. This is a second reading. Is there anybody in the audience who wanted to speak to this? All right, Council?
Move for approval.
Aye.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve. It was seconded by Councilor Karski. I'm now going to move it on to question to Councilor Rolfing. Welcome back.
Thank you. Mike, I'm taken back to the to a deal we had with Lincoln County down on Interstate 29 when we were talking about interchanges and developing an intersection down there, and for them to say let's make sure, or we got to watch our zoning and all this kind of thing because we may have to put an intersection in there someday, that kind of thing. And I know I've been out there at times when that interchange gets really, really busy. Do we have adequate space there if we got to do some major overhaul of that interchange so that we can do it without having to take land away and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. The short answer is yes. The long answer is we have been working with city engineering and the DOT on a long-range look at that whole interchange. We do know that there's going to be major improvements planned for the future. The existing off-ramp will most likely be modified to the east, and so as we've worked with this applicant, we have made sure that we push any future access as far east as we can to allow the interchange future improvements to be done. So that is a consideration, and there is room for that to be done in the future.
Super. Thank you.
Councilor Rolfing, thank you. If there is no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Council members Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar? Yes. Anderson?
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 23.
Second reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at East 69th Street and South Bonson Avenue from the S Institutional, RA1 Residential, and RC Recreation Conservation District to the RS2 Residential, RD Residential, RA1 Residential, and RC Recreation Conservation District, petition number 2013-0511, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a petition submitted by Scott Gilbert, representing Whispering Woods South LLC as the owner of this development area. The property consists of just over 60 acres, and it's located on the south side of 69th Street and just west of what would be the future extension of South Bonson Avenue. The developer is proposing a mix of residential uses. Approximately 44 acres is proposed for low-density single-family residential. Just over 5 acres would be approved for twin homes as part of the RD zoning. Just over 8 acres on the south end is proposed for future multifamily. And then we have about a 3-acre site for stormwater detention. This is a modification of a zoning plan that was done a few years ago for the same property. In the previous proposal, we were looking at more institutional development as opposed to residential. The market changes have occurred out in this area, and so now the owner is requesting this modification. We also were asked at first reading to give a little more information on the current zoning to the north of this property. We have 2 areas of office zoning that exist as part of the Emerald Valley 2 PD, and then we have a commercial area of just over 24 acres that extends over to Southeastern Avenue. All 4 corners of Southeastern and 69th are either zoned or plan to be zoned for some type of retail and office and multifamily use. So this is consistent with what we've done in other areas.
Mike, thank you.
Yes, okay.
Again, folks, second reading. Anybody want to speak to this item? Thank you. Council?
Move approval, Aguilar.
Second, Entenmann.
Councilor Aguilar, thank you very much for making that motion. Councilor Entenmann, thanks for seconding it. Yes, Councilor Urtenbach.
One question, I apologize. Mike, would you remind us, just give us the brief version of what that PD is on that map, the planned development, that idea that it's not zoned necessarily commercial, but it's a hybrid. Can you give us that in the right language?
The Emerald Valley 2 PD, which is shown on the left-hand exhibit as gray, and then on the right-hand, it's divided up into sub-areas, and the sub-areas are designated for certain types of land uses. So we have an office sub-area, actually 2 office sub-areas, and then we have a commercial sub-area. So within that plan development, we have designated what the future uses would be in terms of allowable development.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Urtenbach, thank you. A roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann.
Yes.
Urpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 24.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at East 69th Street and South Bonson Avenue from the AG Agricultural District to the RS2 Residential, RD Residential, and RC Recreation Conservation District. Petition number 2013-0512, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This applicant is also Scott Gilbert, representing Whispering Woods South LLC. This is just over 38 acres of land area located on the north side of East 69th Street and east of what would be South Bonson Avenue. The proposed development for this property includes a combination of medium-density residential, which would consist of just over 15 acres. And then we have, in addition to that, we have a proposed school park site. This is within the Harrisburg School District, and so we have been working with Harrisburg School Superintendent and School Board, as well as the landowner, and as well as City Parks and Recreation, to map out the RS2 is proposed for the school site. The RC is proposed for the playground and future neighborhood park that would be adjacent to that. And then the RD would be the future residential development that would surround the school park site. So that's the quick overview of this particular development area that we've been interesting as we've looked at these future school sites. One of the challenges is always in our long-range comprehensive plan, we try to map out where a potential site might be based on the residential development. And then it always ends up, you have to have the willing landowner, and then you have to be able to get the infrastructure and road network to serve that. So we've kind of come to a good agreement with this one, and this is the zoning plan that's being recommended for tonight.
Second reading, any interest from the audience? Council?
Move to approve Entenmann.
Second, Aguilar.
Councilor Entenmann's made a motion to approve this item, seconded by Councilor Aguilar. If there is no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
That has passed 7-0. Item 25.
Second reading an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 409 South Williams Avenue from the RA1 Residential District to the C2 General Commercial District, petition number 2013-0515, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
The petitioner for this item is Erickson Oil Products Incorporated. The property is located in the southwest corner of West 12th Street and Williams Avenue. It's currently a vacant single-family residential property that's being proposed to be rezoned in order to allow the reconstruction of the existing Freedom Value convenience store that's at the corner of 12th and Williams. There's also a vacant office, Vista office, that would be removed as part of this proposed redevelopment. We had a number of questions at first reading that I want to come back and just comment on. One was the driveway access plan for the new store. There are currently two approaches on 12th Street. The one that's to the farthest east will be eliminated with this new plan, and there'll be a landscape setback added, which currently does not exist on both the 12th Street and the Williams frontage. And then on the Williams frontage, you can see there are a number of driveways that exist, and with the new plan, we'll end up with 3 access points. We're actually going to be eliminating a number of those. So in terms of the overall access, it's an improvement from what we have today. We also talked about how we decide in terms of recommending when we're expanding commercial development off of the 12th Street frontage into the residential neighborhoods. And if we kind of go back to the zoning exhibit, what we try to do is we try to match it up with other commercial zoning that's adjacent to this. So in other words, on the east side of Williams Avenue, over by the Burger King, that's already zoned commercial, and we're trying to kind of line up with that boundary. So that's some of the things that we look at when we consider how far into the residential neighborhood is appropriate for commercial zoning. But this will be a complete rebuild of the gas station. It will meet our new standards for setbacks, landscaping, storm drainage. The car wash will be screened from the adjacent residential property, so it's going to be a pretty significant upgrade from what you see there today.
Is there anyone in the audience who wanted to speak to this item? Councilor Karski.
Mike, I thought they were just building a car wash. You're making it sound like they're totally reconstructing this gas station.
Yeah, it'll be a totally new building.
New canopy and pumps and new retail, the whole works?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Can you show the elevations on there? Yeah, this is what the new store will look like, a brick building.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Erpenbach.
Just one weird little question, Mike. On the rezoning map where you compared the keep going, the purple color ones where they're in line. Okay. Look at that across Williams. See where there's part that's just a little slice that's a different color. What is that? We don't know what that is.
Let's call that a computer error for tonight.
Okay, all right, great. Okay. I'm good with computer error. I was just like, that's the weirdest zoning map I've ever seen. So
I'll take
thank
a
you.
look It might have been an old vacated right-of-way that never got changed.
Sure,
There's a parking lot there because I was just there tonight. So,
Sure, right, exactly.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, I would move approval. This is a great plan.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Buck, thank you, and Councilor Karski, thank you as well for seconding it. If there is no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. That is passed 7-0. Item 26.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West Team Drive and North Tarrant Circle from the RC Recreation Conservation District to the I-1 Light Industrial District, petition number 2013-0533, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
The petitioner for this item is Concrete Materials. The property consists of just under 10 acres. It's located on the east side of Interstate 29 and south of Team Drive. The property has been zoned RC for many years because it's been part of the Concrete Materials ownership with their mining operation. This site has never been mined, and now they're proposing to develop it into 3 lots, one of which will be the new corporate headquarters for Concrete Materials. There was a couple questions again at first reading. There's an existing development to the north of here that I was asked about, and that's a mini storage facility that's currently under construction. And then also there was questions about access, storm drainage, and all those requirements we've looked at. We'll be having to comply with our engineering design requirements when they get to the building permit stage. The proposed office building is going to be about 17,000 square feet, and I was just given a preview of it tonight. And Mayor, I'm almost anxious maybe to have them show it to you tonight, because I think it would be pretty exciting to see another major construction project that would start this year. And then we also have later on item 30, which is the subdivision plan that we'll talk about, showing the proposed 3 lots. But I know the petitioner is here, and I just got a sneak preview tonight of what the building is going to look like, so you might want to see that. Otherwise, there's been no neighborhood comments that we've had on this one.
There's a lot of optimism in town. Let's see some more. I love it. Come on forward.
Billy Palma, 3 North Fairway Drive, Sioux Falls.
Thanks, Billy.
I represent Concrete Materials, main office. So we're proposing to construct like Mike said, a 17,000 square foot office building. We're right now located up on Russell Street and West Avenue, and there's a little disconnect there between the accounting and managers, so we're looking to put it all underneath one roof. And the location there, the Sweetmans have always owned that property, and we feel that's a good property for our new corporate headquarters. Kind of clean up that area a little bit, and good addition, I think, to the Sioux Falls area right there.
Well, Billy, we want to see it, so thanks for the build up here.
You bet.
I'm assuming it's going to be made out of concrete.
A lot of concrete and block there, yes, sir. That's your view actually looking south when you come down, driving south down to the office. That is actually looking north right there. That's the front of the office view. That's the view that's the view that you'll actually see from the interstate driving southbound on 29. And that's the view looking at the office. I believe that is looking north there, looking at the south side of the building. That'll be just adjacent our north. We call it our north hole, our north quarry hole. And that is actually looking west at the west view of the office there. Or sorry, east view. So, okay.
Yes, Councilor.
How are you going to get to the building there? I didn't see that.
Off of Team Drive. We've actually purchased a property off of Team Drive there, which will actually build a road down to the office there. Yep.
Super.
Yep.
That's great news. Thank you.
Yeah. That's very cool. Any other questions?
Billy, thank you. Has there been a motion to approve?
No.
No, thank you.
Move to approve Entenmann.
Councilor Edmonds made that motion, seconded by Councilor Rolfing. We're excited about the project. Roll call vote, please.
Council members Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 7-0, and I apologize. I should have made those comments before you voted. I apologize. Item 27.
Second reading an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at the northwest corner of the intersection at West 85th Street and South Audie Avenue from the RD Residential District to the RS2 Residential District, petition number 2013-0534, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This property consists of just under 40 acres, along with 90 existing residences and a detention area. This is the Twin Eagles Estates residential area. And if you recall, when we were working on our shape places zoning ordinance, there was an amendment to modify the zoning of this property based on the current single-family uses. We are now going back under the current ordinance at the neighborhood request with another new rezoning that would change it from RD to RS2, single-family. So again, this is the Twin Eagles Estates neighborhood, consisting of the existing single-family and the detention area just off West 85th Street.
Thanks, Mike. Is there anyone who wanted to speak to this? Welcome.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Eric Willardson. I'm with Willardson Lund Engineering, 902 South Cleveland Avenue. Here tonight representing the owners of the Cherish Corner PD, which is immediately to the east of this property. We did appear before the Planning Commission. We are not opposed to this rezone from the RD to the RS2. However, we have submitted preliminary subdivision plans for the Cherish PD. They're currently under review, and we just want to go on record and make sure that the zoning we have in place and the plans for development we have in place for the Cherish PD are not affected by this rezone. We were assured by staff that this would still be a compatible use to the development that we have planned to the east. And if, like I said, we're not opposed to this, we just want to make sure that this is not going to affect our plans for development to the east.
Mike, would you mind stepping forward and first of all, thank you, Eric, for those comments. Could you respond to Eric?
Sure. The property directly on the east side of Audie Avenue and north of 85th Street is currently zoned as a planned development. The west, about fourth of the property is zoned for office and multifamily residential. And then the remaining portion going out to Minnesota Avenue is currently zoned for C4 commercial development. So we would have, on the west side of Audi is the existing single family. On the east side is the proposed office or multifamily residential. And the preliminary plan that Mr. Willardson is talking about, we believe will be compatible with this area, as well as future development on the south side of 85th Street.
Mike, what would give Eric some angst, or is there any reason for angst?
Just
or concern?
The question that by changing this existing neighborhood from RD to RS2, that would automatically make it less compatible with future development to the east or to the south. And we don't believe that that's the case because, again, we would show examples of other places all over the city where we have that.
Thanks, Mike.
Situation.
Before I go to the council, is there anybody else who wanted to speak to this item? Very good. Councilor Entenmann.
Mike, if you could, Mayor.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sir, if you just come forward, please. I apologize. Welcome. We appreciate it. If you could just state your name for the people of Sioux Falls. Thank you.
Eric Ellefson, 809 West Golden Eagle. I'm the petitioner for this, and just in case you had any questions as to my intentions for
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else? Very good. Councilor Entenmann.
Mike, I do have a question. In the notes that we have, you mentioned the RS2 and RD zoning previously for the previous developer had, and as he got closer to 85th Street, the intent in the RD there was the transition, whether it was the transition from the residential housing to the north. But under the ordinance, he was allowed to build single-family residence there, although there could have been a development of twin homes or whatever along there. Is that correct?
Yeah, when the RD zoning was put in place, at the request of the developer, he wanted the option of either developing single-family twin homes or through a conditional use fourplexes. And as the market obviously took off out there, it was his decision, along with the people that built their houses, to make it all single-family.
So, if I might, Mr. Mayor, right now, all of these homes in this area, then, they're all single-family dwellings. There are no multifamily dwellings in this location, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Councilor Bach.
Question, Mike, then if the Cheris PD across the street, then if the west portion of it is zoned office and multifamily, that's apartment buildings, correct? So there could be apartment buildings across the street to the east of these single-family homes.
Yes, there could be, which we have in many, many places around town. Yep.
Exactly, exactly. I want to just acknowledge that.
And I think that was the concern of Mr. Willitson, that by changing this zoning, that would make it more potential for opposition to their future development plans.
Right. I guess that then is the follow-up question then. Do we set them up, the Cherish folks, do we set them up for potential more pushback from their neighbors across the street if we change this zoning?
And my response would be no, because again, we can show examples of where we have those adjacent uses.
You still think we're going to be okay with that? Okay. Well, yeah, what if Mike gets hit by a bus? That's my real concern.
And Mike, I think you did mention this. To date, you've not had any concern from the neighbors.
Yes.
Is that a yes you have, or a yes you have not?
I'm sorry. To date, we have not had any concerns. I'm sorry.
All right,
yes.
no, thank you. Okay, very good. Yes, Councilor Karski, I'm sorry.
Mike, you've, I believe, stated this before, and I just want you to basically go on record or correct me if I'm wrong. With the exception of RC, you could build a single-family residence in any of our zoning, correct?
With the exception, on any of the residential zoning districts, yes, but not in the commercial or industrial zoning districts. You cannot build residential under our old ordinance that we're still using.
Under the 83 ordinances?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But within any of the residential zoning districts, you can put in single-family.
Okay.
Even if it's zoned from apartments, you could build single-family.
Okay.
Your motion.
Well, good job, Council. Would anybody want to make a motion?
Move to approve, Entman.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Edmonds made that motion, seconded by Councilor Anderson, Jr. If there is no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Entman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
No.
Rolfing?
No.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 5-2. Item 28.
All right. Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 1521 East 5th Street and 511 North Highland Avenue from the RD Residential District to the RA2 Residential District, petition number 2013-0509, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This property consists of just 1/2 acre. There was a residential older home on this property at one time that has been removed. The applicant is Affordable Housing Solutions along with Sioux Falls Community Development. The proposed redevelopment of this property will be for a 5-unit attached apartment building that will be for senior housing, and then the land directly to the east will be for off-street parking to accommodate this development. This is another one that got caught in between the new and the old ordinance, and so now we are coming back through, and we believe that they will still be able to work with their timeline to utilize the federal funding that's available to assist with this project.
Is there anyone in the audience wanting to speak to this item? Councilor Entman or anybody?
Move to approve, Entenmann.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Entenmann's made that motion. Thank you, Councilor Anderson Jr. for seconding it. Any questions or comments? A roll call. Yes, Councilor Anderson Jr.
I'll make a quick comment on this. This will be a great addition to that area. It is part of the Whittier neighborhood, just west of Meldrum Park. We're doing a lot of great things over there right now. So,
thank you for those comments. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Ralphing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 29.
A resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Dakota Prairie Addition.
This is the preliminary plan that matches up with the previous item 23, which was the rezoning. Again, Scott Gilbert with Whispering Woods South LLC is the applicant. The property is just over 60 acres in size. And based on the zoning plan that you have approved tonight, the preliminary plan, which is the street and lot layout, that's what the preliminary plan is supposed to show. And then it also gives us an early indication of how the property will be served in terms of water, sewer, and storm drainage. So the way that this is being designed is it's showing 155 single-family lots. It shows 12 twin home lots on the north side, which will be the buffer to that Emerald Acres plan development. And then on the south side, it shows the future multifamily, 8 acres, and the 3-acre stormwater detention area. And also, just as an interesting item, on the very south end of the preliminary plan, they are indicating the future South Dakota 100 right-of-way. So we are taking that into consideration with this future development plan. It's gone through engineering review, and it meets all of our design criteria, and we are recommending it for approval tonight as a preliminary plan.
Thank you. Any comments from the audience? Council?
Move approval, Karski.
Second, Rolfing.
Councilor Karski's made that motion, seconded by Councilor Rolfing. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Ralphing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 30.
A resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Quarry 2 Addition.
This matches up with the previous zoning item 26 that you considered tonight for rezoning. Concrete Materials is the owner applicant for this property. They're proposing to subdivide it into 3 lots. So that answers your previous question. How are we going to get to this nice new building that they want to put up? So Team Drive will be extended with a private access point. The southernmost lot is where they'll build their new office building, and then the other 2 lots will be available for other similar type uses. Again, it meets all of our engineering design requirements for water, sewer, utilities, access, and is being recommended for approval tonight.
Anyone in the audience? Okay. Council?
Move to approve the resolution, Entenmann.
Second, Rolfing.
Councilor Erman has made that motion, seconded by Councilor Rolfing. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Ralphing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 31.
A resolution advising and giving consent to the appointment of members to certain citizen boards as follows, and those are Melanie Carpenter to the Civil Service Board, Scott Anderson to the Solid Waste Planning Board, and Steve Brumman to the Visual Arts Commission.
Thank you. Council?
Move to approve, Entenmann.
Second, Aguilar.
Councilor Entenmann's made that motion, seconded by Councilor Aguilar. There's no discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Okay, Council members Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Ralphing.
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 32.
Report of the June 25, 2013 Notice of Transfer of Appropriations within Major Organizational Units.
Thank you. We don't have to vote on that, do we?
No.
Okay. Very good. Council, any further discussion tonight?
Move to adjourn, Karski.
Second, Entenmann.
Councilor Karski's made a motion to adjourn our meeting, seconded by Councilor Entenmann. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you, Sioux Falls. It's been a great meeting. Make it a great night. This meeting is adjourned.